Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, especially as artists, and we don't know where to start or how to start to fix it.
I'm no exception, of course. We all make mistakes, but the most important thing is to find the strength to fix those mistakes if they can be fixed. This drawing was one of my favorites. I love penguins, but my biggest mistake was using a fixative at random just because I saw another artist recommend it on Instagram. To give you a better idea of what this drawing looked like 3 years ago, I'll show you a picture I took before using the fixative. The difference is night and day. I'm not saying the drawing looks terrible now, but that fixative dissolved some of the pastel pigment layers from the paper, as you can see on the penguins' bellies. It also dulled a lot of the vibrancy and ruined some details I had worked hard on. In this tutorial, I'll go over these issues and show how I'm going to restore my drawing. I know every artist has dealt with this at least once, specifically when your pastel drawing just isn't turning out the way you planned. But here's the good news. There are some super easy tricks to fix those ugly pastel drawings and transform them fast. But before starting, remember, there's no such thing as an ugly drawing, just one that hasn't had its makeover yet.
So I prefer to leave my drawing the way it is, especially knowing that I'm using a very good quality paper called Clay Fountain Pastel Matte that's holding the pigment of the pastel very well, so I don't think I need to use a fixative. I don't think fixative is a must, as long as you follow some basic steps and handle your artwork with care. Before we jump into the tricks, let's talk about some most common problems that can make your drawing look, well, ugly. Maybe your colors are muddy or the blending didn't go as you'd hoped. Or maybe the highlights aren't popping as much as they should. Whatever the problem is, it can always make you want to throw the drawing away, but don't do that because you can still fix it. And you shouldn't give up so fast. What I'm going to show you in this video is going to help you fix those mistakes and breathe some new life into your artwork, simply by doing some of the basic steps you already did when you started the drawing. I mean the original one, when you started drawing it for the first time, which now, by making the mistake of using fixative, in my case, looks a bit less pretty, so to speak. Alright, all of that being said, let's just dive in.
When it comes to fixing a pastel drawing, there are a few key techniques that really come into play: layering, blending, and adding those fine details. If you've ever had a pastel drawing that went sideways, like mine did when I used too much fixative, adding layers can be a game changer. But not just any layers. Think thin, deliberate ones that you apply with care. When you layer slowly and intentionally, you regain control over the colors and how they blend on the paper. This approach lets you fine-tune both the color and texture of your drawing, giving you plenty of chances to make adjustments as needed. Taking the time to build up these layers is super important. It helps you avoid some common pitfalls. For example, a frequent mistake, especially among beginners, is overloading the paper with too much pastel. If you apply layers too quickly or too heavily, the paper can get saturated and lose its ability to hold more pastel. This can mess with the overall look of your drawing and make it harder to get the effect you want. In my case, the fixative messed up the original layers, so now I have to start rebuilding them. The paper's texture was almost completely stripped away, and if I don't reapply those crucial layers, I won't be able to add finer details later on. Without a proper surface for the pigment to cling to, the final piece can end up looking less polished. The good news is, the more layers you apply thoughtfully, the better your drawing will turn out in the end. Just remember to strike a balance. Too many layers can create issues too. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you have enough layers to enhance your drawing without overwhelming the paper. By taking your time and layering carefully, you'll make the whole process smoother and end up with a more refined and detailed final result. Here's the real magic to reviving your pastel drawing. It's all about blending those layers with a gentle touch to smooth out any rough or uneven spots. Fixative can often create issues beyond just ruining the carefully laid layers. It can also disrupt the seamless blending and smooth transitions between your colors. This leaves you with the task of restoring those crucial details that make your drawing look polished and cohesive. Think of it like giving your artwork a fresh start without having to completely redo it. Even though the fixative has damaged my initial work, I can still bring it back to life. I just need to revisit those transitions between colors that were lost. By applying new, thin layers and blending them meticulously, I can address those muddy areas and restore the vibrant highlights that make my drawing stand out. The key here is patience and precision. When you blend each layer carefully, you help the colors merge smoothly, which helps to restore that polished, professional appearance to your drawing. This method allows you to correct any uneven patches and bring back the subtle gradations that truly make your artwork shine. As you blend, you'll start to see how the colors begin to harmonize and blend more seamlessly. It's a satisfying process that can significantly improve the overall look of your drawing. Taking the time to focus on these details and being patient with the blending process will help you revive your pastel drawing and make it look as vibrant and beautiful as ever. Now that I have addressed the blending issues and smoothed out those rough spots, it's time to shift my focus to the next crucial step, refining the details. This phase is essential for restoring my pastel drawing to its full potential and ensuring it looks its absolute best. The key to this process lies in reintroducing sharper lines and more vibrant colors, which can breathe new life into my artwork. I also revived my drawing by using bold, vibrant pastels and touches of white to accentuate highlights and add a bit of sparkle. These final touches help to re-establish the contrast and fine details that may have been diminished by the fixative mishap. You'll notice a remarkable transformation as I reapplied these vibrant colors and refined the finer details. This additional work not only revitalizes your drawing, but also provides it with that polished, finished appearance. Think of it as the final brushstrokes on a masterpiece, those last touches that make every element of your drawing pop and shine. By carefully adding these final details, I enhance the overall depth and quality of my artwork. It's amazing how a few strategic additions can significantly improve the look of my piece, making it appear more complete and professionally finished. What might have seemed like a challenging situation can be turned into a stunning piece of art with just a bit of extra effort and attention to detail. So, embrace this step with enthusiasm and confidence. These final touches are what truly bring your drawing to life and elevate it to its highest level of finish. Remember, it's often these small, careful adjustments that make the biggest difference in achieving a finished look that you can be proud of. And just like that, with a bit of layering, thoughtful blending, and some careful refining, I've completely transformed this drawing. It's incredible to see how these techniques can breathe new life into a piece of art that initially seemed like it might be lost. Let's take a moment to compare the before and after. The difference is truly striking, isn't it? It's amazing how a few strategic steps can turn a rough start into a polished, finished piece. This transformation showcases the power of technique and patience in art. What's great about this approach is that it demonstrates you don't have to give up on a drawing just because it starts off a little rough around the edges. Even if your pastel piece seems to be struggling, applying these tricks can quickly turn things around. It's all about knowing how to address the issues and making thoughtful adjustments to improve the overall appearance. So remember, no matter how challenging a drawing might seem initially, you can often save it with the right techniques. With a bit of layering, blending, and refining, You have the power to transform any pastel piece into something you can be truly proud of. These tricks prove that there's always hope for a beautiful result, even if things don't start off perfectly.
So, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, please hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification to make sure you won't miss any videos in the future. Let me know in the comments if you rescued an ugly drawing and what kind of techniques you used for that. Thank you for watching, and remember, there's no such thing as an ugly drawing. It's just a drawing that didn't have its makeover yet. See you next time.